Hi, it's Joey Reynolds. I have the same audience as the Olympics. What a bust, huh? This is a bigger bust than Dolly Parton. I don't believe that happened. That Tokyo spent $30 billion just to get everybody to come over there and try sushi. That's all you got to do is just go back to New York, put on a mask, and go to a restaurant. Of course, you know, Governor Cuomo's in trouble. He's the guy that nurtured everybody all through all of this stuff every day. And now he got caught with his sexual acting out. So he called his good friend Bill Clinton to find out how to handle this. And, you know, I think Cuomo's mother is the only person left offering him support. And maybe a stimulus check from Biden. That might help. I think he's been far too much stimulated. That's the problem. What am I laughing at? I've been in that position before. I've been governor. I was, yeah, that's right, sure. No, I think the other news is that, well, the other news is there is no news. See, that's why all these channels are picking on politics. They've got nothing to do. Can you imagine all these channels, the OAN, the Fox, the CNN, whatever it is, all these initial droppers, these guys are all out of business. They have nothing to talk about except what someone's done wrong. And people always do everything wrong. That's why you have 10 commandments. And you know, I mean, that's it. Who hasn't dishonored their mother and father? Maybe Cuomo. Anyway, you know, the thing is that we have different kinds of morality going on in our country. We got to settle it. Let me ask the audience, what do you think? See, that's where I get my opinions. The other part I wanted to talk about is the Olympic people in the Olympics. You know, the young stars. They're all young. I mean, everybody's in their 20s. How are you going to be able to do all those things when you're out of shape, or when you're 40 years old? Like Meghan Markle, she is the Duchess of Sussex. The Duchess who sucks is 40 years old, and she is also, you know, she's over the hill now, just like the old Queen, RuPaul. But you know, I was thinking about how the Olympics should work for the seniors. We should have the senior Olympics, like the Walker Run. That would be good. Or maybe getting out of the car without grunting. That would be another one of these things that you could do in the senior Olympics. Who has the biggest grunt when they sit down in the seat? Oh, the senior Olympics would be great. I mean, I'd be so much a part of that. You know, you could do so many things. I know there's a lot of jokes here, but you know, we're called the American people, and even Trump is suing the electronics. I'm suing the electronics because they screwed me up. I don't know how to work my iPhone. I'm going to sue them. I'm having a high-tech issue. I used to have a problem, now I got an issue. But the politicians are now suing the technical companies because they're not getting the promotion that they want to have, so they can be famous and stay in the spotlight. Well, look at me. Look at what I've had to do to stay in the spotlight. Me and my bird in a backyard. This is what you do when you get older. I mean, come on, you got to do this. People want you to get the hell out of the way because they want the new crop to move in. They want those people to come in, and then they pick your brain to find out how to do it because they never knew how to do it at 22 years old. They got to have the older people do it. That's what we're for. That's why I'm a grandfather. I told you why they call me granddad. It's because that's what it cost me. It cost me $1,000 every time they call. It's good, you know, to be. It's good to be me. It's good to be king. Mel Brooks wrote that book, Good to be King, and he talks about at that time George Burns was going to be 100 years old, and so his comment on being 100 years old, Mel Brooks says, "Yeah, well, he's just asking for it." That's what happens when you get to be older age. I love this thing. You know, when you say older, and we're the American people. We're American people. Listen, I miss the village people. The hell with the American people. I want to do the YMCA. So this is it. I mean, I'm sitting here bitching about nothing because that's what the media is doing. That's all they're doing. What are they going to do? Leftovers from the Olympics? They got nothing. They you know, I didn't get the Hall of Fame award for nothing. I got it because I had the highest ratings in the history of rock and roll. Can you imagine that? Do you think someone ever passed me by? You bet they did. They want to take my award back, take me out of the hall. They moved my display actually at the Hall of Fame in Cleveland and put Les Paul's guitars in there. And Les and I were best of friends. He was like a father figure to me, you know. And I did stand-up comedy with him every week at the Iridium Jazz Club. And so Les said to me, you know, I got bad news for you. They're moving you out of the Hall of Fame, and they're putting the tape of you, and they're moving my guitars in there. I said, yeah, just what we need. Another guitar from Les Paul on display somewhere. So I called Steve Wozniak, you know, one of the inventors of Apple. You know who he is. He invented the laptop. So he said to me, I introduced him to Les, and he says, is Les in the Inventors Hall of Fame? I says, I don't know. So I called Les. I says, I just talked to Steve Wozniak, and he asked if you're in the Inventors Hall of Fame. And Les says, I don't know what the hell I'm in. I'm 95 years old. What do I care, man? He says, I'm lucky I'm not in a respirator. That's what I am. And so I called him back. I says, I don't think he's in there. And he's on the committee. You know, I guess somewhere along the line, the Inventors Hall of Fame is an exclusive club out of Akron, Ohio. We don't hear a lot about it. You don't even hear a lot about baseball anymore in Cooperstown. But you hear the Hall of Fame is in Akron, Ohio, all out of the way places. And at that particular time, he voted Les. He was on the board, and he voted Les into it. So Les got his guitars in that Inventors Hall of Fame now. And what else was I going to tell you about? There was something else that came up. At this age, nothing comes up. I just want to tell you something. I'm very happy being me, and I hope you're happy being you, because the governor of Florida is a maniac. This guy, my daughter's got COVID, and she's got a mask, and oxygen now, and you got a governor that says don't wear a mask and don't get vaccine. It's optional. He's an idiot. It's a Reynolds Wrap.